Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to part 2 of your first quarter reading. This is for January through March of 2022. This is what we have so far. If you haven't watched part 1, where we draw all these cards, make sure to go back to part 1. But we're going to clarify this and see what other details come up for you at this time. But in your first row here with the Ace of Swords, you have the Ace of Pentacles. So definitely like abundance coming in for you here. You have two aces. Two aces is a definite yes to any question that I haven't answered. I think that there is a major opportunity coming in for you, Pisces. And the reason I say think and not know is because it's like I don't feel it intuitively, which is weird. Normally I feel like certain opportunities. What this would tell me, and kind of intuitively what I do feel, is that this is more like an egg. You know, it's like more like something that you have been building inside of yourself. It's like if you think about a bird that's like laying an egg, it has to create that egg inside of its body first. You know, it has to create the shell with like all these like components with like calcium and all this other stuff. Then it has to create the embryo inside of it, you know, in the first place. Then it, you know, creates a shell, I should say. Then it has to lay the egg. It's like this entire process. And intuitively, I feel that these big, like, you know, these opportunities that are going to be coming to you this year, it's more like the process that you've been through. And I kind of said this in your first reading. It's like I'm seeing it in steps. It's like I said with the transformation card. It's not like you're transforming like a butterfly, although I do feel like that's part of it. You're going through some transformations. I think all the things are adding up from your past lives. I didn't want to say that, but I did. So there you go. But also from the past, like everything you've learned in your life, everything you've gone through, all your experiences. I just see this reading as kind of like a culmination, everything coming together. Extremely powerful, pretty deep stuff is what I would say to you, Pisces. It's going to lead to some like big changes in your life. Love it. With the Chariot, you have the Five of Swords. Take the risk. Here's the thing. With the Chariot, what did I say? I said, eat my dust, right? Right, Pisces, on the Chariot card. I don't really think you're being a jerk or anything like that, and I definitely wouldn't be. But I think there are people, you know, I kind of get this weird feeling about it. Like, I felt like people were judging me on that Chariot card. I felt like people were kind of like looking at the things I'm doing and feeling like sad. But I would be careful of your own feelings. Sometimes I think we can start becoming successful, and it's almost like survivor's guilt, right, Pisces? Like maybe we feel bad that other people aren't coming along the journey with us, but it's like people have a choice, you know, people can, you know, we shouldn't sacrifice our own success for other people because they can't be successful, right? And I think that's important here. And again, I'm not saying you have to be a jerk or anything like that, but I am saying you are going to have to shine bright. And that might mean you're going to be dimming out some other people here, but, at the same time, I feel like it's super important that Pisces rises up. Why? Because in the future, I feel like Pisces is one of the signs where people are going to be looking up to you. And it's like people need inspiration. People need, people need people to look up to, right? So it's like if you dim your own light just so someone else can shine bright as well, and you're not living to your full potential, then it's like you're not becoming an inspiration, which is like taking something from other people as well. It's kind of a mind effort. It's like one of those things I've struggled with my whole entire life, but I feel like it also held me back for a long time as well. So I'd say don't do it. And trust me, down below there will be tons of comments of people, how dare you be successful, all this other stuff. Again, those people are losers. Don't let them, you know, distract you or anything like that, Pisces. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Seven of Cups here. I would focus. Here's the thing about the Queen of Cups, is she is very focused. Sorry, I just threw her. She is very focused on that cup. I always say, you know, Queen of Cups can represent intuition, trusting your intuition, she can represent being intuitive, nurturing energy as well. But she's very focused on that cup. And if you look at that cup, it actually looks like a trophy. It doesn't really look like a cup, right, Pisces? So she is very focused on what is in front of her. She is very focused on, you know, becoming successful, making things happen, doing as much as she possibly can. And that's exactly what I think you should be doing here, Pisces, with the Queen of Cups. I feel like you should be kind of focusing on what you can do. I feel like you need to keep your eye on the prize with the Seven of Cups as well. The other thing about the Seven of Cups is that sometimes with the Seven of Cups, we can be focused on these bad things. Like, you know, there's like a snake and a dragon in those cups. It can represent fears, anxieties, illusions, things that we're afraid of. And I feel that for a lot of you, this is saying, you know, there are some scary things. There also might be some limiting things in your life as well. The Seven of Cups doesn't say that life is perfect. But the Seven of Cups says, like, maybe you don't have love, and maybe love is an imagination, love is an illusion for you. But the Seven of Cups says you need to go find something to love. You need to find something to focus on before you can actually have the actual energy in your life. Same thing with money as well. It's like, if you don't have money but you want money, you need to find something to focus on that is abundant, right? So it's like, kind of, the Seven of Cups asks us to create the energy before it exists. And you know, like I said, this is deep reading, Pisces. I gotta say, there's a lot of stuff going on here. But again, if there was ever a year or a time where you could become not only an inspiration to other people, but if there was ever a time where you could rock your own world and where you could blow your own mind, that would be right now, Pisces, for sure. So I would encourage you to do it, and I would encourage you to, you know, glow as bright as you possibly can. With the King of Cups, you have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a card of recovery, of course. It's also a card of like hoping and praying for things. And again, if you're watching this video in January, then it would be a really good time for you to kind of like meditate and take your time. I wouldn't try to force things to happen in January. It's like, even in this month of January, I'm doing these obviously in January. I'm late. I wanted to have these first quarter readings done already, but I had some like technical difficulties and everything like that. But you know what? I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to force anything to happen. I'm just going to let things kind of flow and let things happen when they're supposed to happen. And I'm going to work on some other things. You know, that's my that would be my approach for you, Pisces, in January. It's kind of like that more, I wouldn't say lazy approach. I think you're just like, you know, going with the flow, right? And I think for whatever reason, this Four of Swords is talking about you tapping more into kind of like that energy of flow and just allowing things to happen. With the Knight of Wands, boom. Love it, son. Are you kidding me? The center card in this, right here, is your most important card in the 9-card spread, right here, and you have the Sun. The Sun is shining its light right here on the Seven of Pentacles. We could say on the Seven of Pentacles that he is waiting for the perfect moment to pick those pentacles. The pentacles kind of represent fruit on the Seven of Pentacles, and maybe he's waiting for the fruit to be ripe. Maybe he's waiting for the best moment to pick those pentacles. And you have the Sun. I love this. I feel like you need to move towards your desires as well. Knight of Wands, he might not do things that make logical sense to other people in life. But like I said, if you want to start, you know, a cupcake factory that bakes cupcakes in the shape of hamsters or elephants or whatever, who the hell cares? Do it. Because, you know, the Knight of Wands, he doesn't care, number one, what other people think. Number two, he has a feeling about something, and he's like, I love doing this. And because he loves doing something, it becomes successful because he's doing it out of love. He's not doing it for any other reason, right? And again, who cares what other people think? But I feel like you need to do what is fun, what is joyful, what, you know, kind of fulfills you with this Sun energy. With the Six of Swords, you have the Strength card. Like I said, the Six of Swords is definitely going to require strength. We were talking about this sacrifice that you could be making with the Six of Swords. Intuitively, I don't feel there's like some big, huge, major sacrifice that you're making. Although there is a lot in your astrology that would encourage you to maybe walk away from something that you have built up for a long period of time. So for some of you, it's like maybe you've been working on a business and maybe there's something else that you're thinking about moving on to that would be better. And this energy says, yeah, it's going to require strength. It's going to require time and effort and energy. But if you do it, you're going to be very successful. Another card that asks you to shine bright, by the way, you know, she has her hands in this lion's mouth on this card. And as I always say, who in their right mind would stick their hands in a lion's mouth? The answer is nobody, Pisces. And by doing that, it's like she's standing out. It's like if you saw someone taming a lion, like literally with their hands, you'd probably stop and stare. You would probably give that person attention, right? So it is a card of attention. It is a card of, you know, shining bright. And like I said, this whole entire reading is kind of saying that I feel like you need to shine bright. With the Magician, you have the Queen of Swords. Finally clear on what you need to do. You have, you know, she is the first Court Swords card that has clouds only halfway up her body. She is finally understanding, you know, the actions that she needs to take. She is finally understanding the direction that she needs to go in her life. And so the Magician is kind of like saying, you're finally clear on like what you are supposed to be doing. I'm noticing like a lot of this, you know, childhood stuff coming up here. You have this childlike devotion card. You have the Six of Cups here as well, and the Sun. There's a child on the Sun. This is your inner child on the Sun, by the way. And, you know, I feel that for a lot of you, like I said, it's like you're putting all these pieces of a puzzle together since like the beginning of your life, or like since you started, you know, working towards something. It's like everything is coming together. That's really how I see this reading. But it's like all the ingredients for an egg, like I said. So what do you have to do with your egg? You have to take care of it. You have to sit on your egg. You have to hatch it. You know, it's like all this stuff is going on. It's a process, like I said. With the Six of Cups, you have the Death card here. More symbolism of a child. The only person that is not scared on this card is this child right here. This child is reaching up and giving a flower to the Death Rider on the Death card. And it kind of represents the fact that children are not afraid of starting something new. They're not afraid to, you know, explore new opportunities. They're not afraid to explore new things in their life. They're willing to try new things. They're willing to pretty much try anything, right? So the card kind of asks you to focus on the sun. By the way, the sun is rising between the two pillars that are on the moon right here. So it's like you're leaving this moon period, and the moon period would be a period of innovation, which is where I think you have been for a very long time. That's what I mean by putting these ingredients together. I think that, like, up until this point, life has basically been practice for you, Pisces, and it's like now you're entering into the arena. And, you know, it's like now you're going to be putting all your skills and everything else on display. Pretty intense. Like I said, I feel like you're rocking your own world for sure. Or I don't know. I feel like by the end of this year, it's going to, like, rock your world. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Swords. You know, of course, there's got to be one thing that messes everything up, right? But the Ten of Swords actually isn't that bad of a card. It's another card of a sacrifice and a new beginning. You can also see that the sun is rising in the background. And he's also making a symbol with his hands here that represents a blessing. It's like he's making the same symbol that the Hierophant is making on his card. So he, you know, and it's card of something being dead, done, over with. Seven of Pentacles, change in direction. So again, I feel, and clearly this whole entire bottom row here, Pisces, strength card, you know, Six of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. It's like you are walking away from something that could require strength for you to do it, to walk away from it. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Let's just get a little bit nosy and just ask for a little bit more detail on this, Pisces. Yep, Nine of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Wands, don't give up, and the Seven of Wands. There you go. See, I think you've made up your mind, Pisces. This is what I'll say. You have the Seven of Wands. You have two cards here that represent boundaries, Seven of Wands and the Nine of Wands. But the Seven of Wands, he's defending his position at the top of a hill. It's a card of conviction. Like he knows that something is going to be successful at this time. I think what's going to kind of like blow you away this year as well is it's like I feel you making a decision about something in your life, and it's like you're finally like putting an end to something. For some of you, I feel like it's a feeling. Like, you know, maybe you have a certain belief in your life that you feel is holding you back. I think that's one thing that you could be finally saying, no, I'm cutting this out. I'm no longer... That was very weird. I don't even know what that was, Pisces, but I feel like you're like, I'm no longer going to allow these feelings to control my life. You could be, for some of you, I feel like it's a person as well, where it's like you're finally, but it looks like a cycle to me. I have the World popping into my head, so I feel like some of you are closing out a cycle with a person. Could be like a relationship, could be a family member, a friend. Again, I'm cheating because of the astrology, but you know, that's what I'll say there. The Nine of Wands and the Seven of Wands, I'm also getting the word consistency off of these two cards right here. I feel that this is what your consistency is going to create. It's almost like I see you having worked on like one thing. You know, maybe you've had like multiple businesses in your life. Maybe you've had multiple relationships, but it's like there's been one thing in common, that there's maybe been one thing that's been consistent through all of the stuff that you've been through. That's where your wealth is, Pisces, and I'm not referring to just money with the Nine of Pentacles. This could be, your mental. It could be mental power wealth. It could be social wealth, as in people in your life. It could just be energy. Could be a combination of everything here, but it's like I feel like whatever has been common in your life that you maybe always think about or have always wanted to create. It's like a story is how I'm seeing it in my head. And it's almost like you are wanting to live a certain story. Maybe you've always wanted to achieve certain goals or whatever. I feel like the story hasn't changed. It's been common through everything. That's the best way I can verbalize what I'm seeing. And I would move towards whatever that is this year, because you're going to accomplish it, Pisces, if you put in the work. Again, if you put the ingredients together and sit on your egg like the Queen of Cups would, which you have over here. Weird, Pisces. I love this. Definitely a very good reading. So thank you for being here, Pisces. Really appreciate it. I will, of course, be here to update you for second quarter when we get there. And that'll be that. So thank you for being here, Pisces. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your first quarter.